Do I have to do this again? Okay, let's go. Hey guys, Neox here. Obviously, you can tell something's a little bit different. Well, this time we're recording inside Second Life, and yeah, just dealing with that there. So, for those of you who don't know, Second Life is a fun online virtual experience for many different people to enjoy and intersect with one another. Anyways, basically I thought it'd be an interesting medium, and you guys can let me know what you think on it. So then, let's talk movies. I mean, movies, they dictate a whole kinds of different amounts of stuff, and they do a lot of amazing things. You know what I mean? However, though, I just find myself as like, hey, let's go down over to the movies. And every once in a while, though, I just get stuck trying to catch up to the films on the theater, such as right now, because there's so many good films that are out, and I've been missing out on films since Deadpool came out, and like literally the most that I've done. Last time I hopped into a theater for a big major blockbuster film was for Zootopia, and that's it. I haven't watched anything along remotely around there. I'm missing out on things like Civil War, which I really want to go see because I'm kind of a Marvel nerd, and all kinds of other stuff like that. But so getting stuck with different amount of movies, and then of course I keep on seeing all these ads and trailers for so many good films, and there was one trailer that was played during my class that is apparently going on at SIFF, the Seattle International Film Festival. For those of you outside of Washington who don't know about it, or those of you in Washington who don't know about it, I don't know what I'm saying here. But anyways, SIFF is kind of a really big major thing, and it celebrates local artists within the Northwest, or basically all around the U.S., or even further than that sometimes. Like they say, it is an international film festival. It's just based here in Seattle, but they prefer like lower end films and such. However, on their opening night, they decided to go with the big blockbuster film, which I saw the trailer for, and I actually thought it was really good. And then someone in a classroom of mine, specifically my film class, said, yeah, but we shouldn't be watching this film because the director is a rapist. And so I was intrigued by this and did some research, of course. And so, sure enough, the director of this film may or may not have not raped his then 7-year-old daughter during the point in time when he was getting a divorce with his wife. And so it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, what kind of arguments do you make for this? And our entire classroom just got into a discussion about what's right and what's wrong, and just got all kind of different stuff, and it was just painful. But I don't feel like that movies should have to be that way. I don't feel that films should have to be controversied over based upon who directed it and such. I think that if you enjoy a film, or if a film looks good, you should be able to go ahead and watch it. And it's like, yes, it may end up supporting something that may or may not have happened 2 decades ago, but hey, if people don't know about it and people don't talk about it, then that's fine. And I do think it's important to have these conversations every once in a while, but it gets so annoying where everyone else is against you and you don't have a single person who wants to agree with your opinion. It just gets annoying to me, and probably to a few others as well. Now then, on that note, it doesn't mean that we don't have a lot of different stuff that we can get into and still have fun with. I mean, movies are movies after all. They're based in fictional worlds, and we like to have a whole bunch of fun with it. However, though, fictional worlds, of course, we do get some type of representation of different demographics, but simultaneously, though, we also get representation of the wrong demographics, such as things that we don't want in movies or something like that, or when a movie just takes it too far. And that just strikes controversy, and then people get overly BS'd about it, and I just still don't understand it to myself. It's just like, really? You guys are going to go that far? And apparently, yeah, there are some films that would like to go that far. And then, of course, however, though, I hear people, like, blandering out these movies that do all these really horrific stuff within the genres of filmmaking and other stuff like that, and then they will totally praise a TV show that's going on at the moment, and they're all like, oh, this TV show is amazing, you should probably go and see it and such. And it's like, it's not that I don't watch these television shows, I choose not to watch these television shows. And the problem with that is because, to me, TV and movies are meant to exist as an escape from reality. Hence, one of the reasons why I enjoy YouTube so much is because we're able to escape out of our daily lives and do such, and every once in a while, yes, you can use YouTube for a good amount of activism. Something that I, myself, partake in. And, of course, a documentary is a good type of film in order to help out with activism as well. It all comes down on a case-by-case basis. But if you're going to be doing a film or a television show for entertainment, in my opinion anyways, one should try not to make their film too real TV. And what I mean by that is, say where, like, I've heard people say, like, these shows are super progressive, like, oh, Steven Universe is a super progressive show because of such, such, and such. And I'm like, yeah, but you do realize that there have been shows before that followed similar things that were then canceled and are some amazing lost treasures of animation. It's one of those things where it's like, I can barely watch ordinary TV now because too many people spoil it or ruin it for me. And because of that, I'm stuck watching things on Hulu. Like, literally, I will hop onto Hulu and then I will dig around. The only problem with Hulu is that they carry everything that TV does. So what's the last thing I'm going to watch there? Well, there's the movies, but then again, it's not all the best selection, and every once in a while you'll find a rare golden gem like Dick Figures, the film, or, sorry, Dick Figures the movie, was put on. Sorry again, I have no idea what the burps are all about. Yeah, but Dick Figures the movie was put on to Netflix with a Mondo Media and all kinds of different stuff, and that's actually really funny, and I love that they put that on there because it was just these two guys who end up creating an entire team of animators, and it's just stick figures, but it's still super funny, and again, film not meant for children, but it's still really interesting to see that a YouTube series would get their own movie, and then years later with the movie still being interesting and relevant to modern day society, they would throw it on the Hulu, and that's something I really find. However, though, on rare occasion, you get stuff like that on Hulu, and so I'm stuck watching anime. In which case, then, is like, oh great, here comes the otaku. But here's the thing, though. Yeah, I'm fine with admitting I'm otaku. Heck, I'm technically a furry otaku. When you get down to it, I'm also a furry otaku nerd who's into nearly almost everything that a nerd can get into, which is fine at my school, because it's different than other schools. I mean, come on, we worked as my school is an arts-based college prep, and the students literally all rallied together when we learned that we may lose our art class, and headed on down over to the place for Seattle Public Schools representatives and all that different stuff where they all work, and then we literally just we skipped and walked out of our school, and then just rallied with signs out there, and actually got to talk with executives on this matter of actual school funding and such, and it was really interesting in order to do that. And then, of course, we're also pushing out in Olympia, too. Olympia, Washington, that is, in order to push for more school funding. And I find that really good and really amazing. However, simultaneously, though, everyone in the school is an artistic nerd. Somewhere along the lines, we have somewhere between an amazing artist, but then also someone who's really into nerd and geek culture. Like, literally, we have an entire area of the school that's just dominated over people who play Magic the Gathering. Heck, there's even a club at the school for people who play D&D, and that club actually turned into they all actually got bored with D&D. It was after the first quarter, and so they just started playing Super Smash Bros. In there, but hey, whatever. Not that I would know anything about it. But anyways, the main thing, though, is I'm what's referred to as one of the balcony kids. See, since because my school is actually located on the Seattle Center campus, so our lunchroom is the literal food court area inside the entirety of Seattle Center. So, of course, we're hanging out down over there, and then I'm just up over on the balcony, which is reserved off for the students between 7 and 4, and I have to constantly remind people about that because they don't see the signs, and they're clearly stated out right there, and I'm like, come on, could you just please leave? We need to use this space. But, yeah, so I'm what's referred to as one of the balcony kids, in which case all of us are nerds with our computers and different amounts of stuff like that. However, you have one group in the table, which is my group of friends, in which case we are all nerds. We're all, most of us, okay, not most of us, but 3 of us are furs. And then, of course, we're all otakus. So we're all lovers of anime, and we all have all these crazy, weird conversations. And then, of course, these people just walk by, and they're all like, man, these are some sorry-ass saps. And I'm all like, really? I mean, people don't understand that otakus are just... Yeah, I mean, technically the term otaku is something that you don't want to be. It's a Japanese term meaning that you're someone who loves video games and anime and lives in their basement. It's an insult, really. But within America, though, it's been sort of popularized as this, oh, you like anime, so you're an otaku. And then, of course, is like, but it's kind of more than that, really. To be an otaku in the United States means that you not only watch anime, but you're really knowledgeable of anime. So you know some Japanese. So you may know some Japanese. You may actually work out to take part in some of the cultural events of Japan that happen around in the U.S. Which, again, yeah, some of it's butchered, but whatever. I mean, it's the best you're going to get without actually grabbing a ticket to Tokyo and taking part in the events there, which are amazing. But anyways, along the lines of the whole otaku thing in the U.S., being a U.S. otaku means that you have to deal with people not understanding you. And that I'm already fine with because I'm a furry. But anyways, with hanging out on actual areas of this balcony, there's one thing that we all do as part of our group that makes no sense to anyone because this is going to, and believe me, this will kick you in nostalgia, is that we all play Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like we literally come out with mats, decks, and everything, and we just head out down over there and actually play a card game that was really, really popular. I remember clearly in my head back in kindergarten and first grade. The game was really popular, and maybe I didn't understand all the rules back then, but heck, I still loved it so much. I loved to collect the cards. I had a dual disc. It was amazing. And then, of course, you get stuck with, there was like a grace period where it's like nothing happened. And then during my middle school years, I got back into it because it's like, oh, hey, it's kind of a little bit popular again. There's these people who actually do it within these Gaming Day Wednesdays. So yeah, I'll be fine actually getting back into that. And I actually started getting good. And then once I got into high school, I got even better. And with a teacher and everything who have all been on it for years. And so, of course, we continue going along that. And then me and another one of my buds, we decided is all like, hey, there's a tournament coming up in Seattle. Maybe we should go enter the tournament. And it was like, yeah, okay. I mean, we have pretty powerful decks. We've been working on these things for years. We know our decks by heart. And which cards in them are banned that we need to remove, which ones are limited that we have to remove our extra copies out of, and other stuff like that. So we're all ready to go. We have all of the cards ready. We end up showing down over into Seattle Center where it's being hosted. And then we go down over to the location, and then we learn, it's like, oh, crud, we don't know where the duelist tournament is. So we go talking around, because there's, like, big amounts of events going on that weekend for no reason at all. There's, like, 7 different events, and we're like, okay. So we'll just go ahead and ask somebody. He's all like, hey, do you know where the tournament is? And they're all like, oh, yeah, just go down over to such and such down over on this end of the campus. Yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, sure. We get down over there, and it's a tournament for Pokemon players, and we're like, oh, jeez, somebody freaked up here. Because apparently there was also a Pokemon tournament going on there, hence that's one of the other 7 events. So, of course, we asked them, hey, do you know where the Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament's going on? And they're all like, oh, yeah, you're going to have to go all the way over to the other side of the campus. So, long story short, we end up showing up like 5 minutes late and to the tournament. And then the tournament hoster down over there is all like, hey, you guys are just in time, and you got like 5 minutes to fill out your deck list before we begin, and we can get you in. And we're like, okay, yeah. So me and my buddy, we go through signing out through all the deck lists, and then we see this thing that says a Konami ID card, and we're like, oh, geez, we don't have Konami ID cards. So we talk to the guys, and we're like, hey, we don't have ID cards we don't have a Konami ID card. Can we get some? And they're like, yeah, for $20. Now this is where I start to have a lot of trouble with people. I mean, getting a card for $20 makes no sense to me. If you're going to do something along the lines of where you have a huge fan base and create all kinds of different stuff, I can understand that you don't want any other type of person in order to enter in this stuff. But I do remember years ago, you didn't have to pay in order to get IDs or something like that. You didn't have to do that. It's just different kind of stuff. But then again, we did also learn while we were there that this is also a regionals tournament. We didn't realize it was just a come in for fun. So we were a little bit bitchy about that, and then just had a lot of fun, but we still were a little bit bitchy on the whole matter. But we did, so they did let us stay, but they wouldn't let us duel because we didn't have the money to pay for it. So we just go ahead and was like, okay, well, we'll go ahead and stay and watch the duels. And we met a lot of really interesting people. And so I just think that's a lot of really fun stuff with all this convention culture and different stuff like that. And getting stuck with all of this, and of course me being used to conventions or tournaments, other stuff like that, being a furry, is just really all amount of fun. And that's all I really like doing. However, then again, you then have shows like Law & Order, which will take these same conventions and make them all about rape. And is like, really? And of course, I guess that brings me back down over to movies and television. Is just like, you don't need to make it overly realistic. It's fine to have a fictional world, and it's fine to tackle really big problems of society. But you don't have to shove it down our throats while you're doing it. Anyways, I thank you all for listening, and of course, I'm Neox. Just saying, have a nice day.